My beloved child, listen closely to what I, the Lord your God, am urgently whispering into the depths of your spirit, because this is not a message to be dismissed or delayed. It is a divine alert coming from my heart to yours. For there is someone in your life whose presence has been cloaked in deceit, someone who smiles with warmth but harbors intentions darker than the night. And though you have tried to see the good in them, to justify their behavior, to convince yourself that your discomfort was simply paranoia or misunderstanding, I'm telling you now, unmistakably and without hesitation, do not trust this person, for they are not operating from the light, but are being influenced by spiritual forces that do not have your well-being in mind. They are uttering words of praise to your face while speaking curses into the air behind your back. They're aligning themselves with envy, bitterness, and hidden malice. And while you have been faithfully lifting them in prayer, they have been using the energy of their jealousy to form words like weapons against your destiny. And though you may not see the evidence in the natural realm yet, your spirit has already sensed the misalignment, the draining of your energy after speaking to them, the unexplained anxiety after opening up your heart to them, the small but repeated betrayals wrapped in excuses that you forgave too quickly. And I, your father, have seen it all. I have watched as you gave them chance after chance, as you sacrificed your own peace to keep the relationship afloat. But now the time has come for exposure, for spiritual clarity, for divine boundaries to be drawn so sharply that no shadow can cross them. Because I did not anoint you to be abused. I did not bless you so others could feed on your favor. I did not place my spirit within you, so you could be used by those who secretly resent what I've placed on your life. And I need you to hear me. You are not being paranoid. You are discerning. And I am now activating within you a deeper level of spiritual perception. So you will not only see their true nature, but you will begin to feel the shift in the spirit every time they speak something that is out of alignment with my will. And you will feel that tightening in your chest, that restlessness in your soul. And that is not anxiety. It is divine warning. It is the Holy Spirit alerting you before more damage is done. And I want you to stop explaining away those signs, because every time you do, you silence my voice, try to protect you. And this is not about revenge. This is about preservation. This is about keeping your path pure and your mind clear so you can walk fully in the anointing I prepared for you. And this person, though familiar to you, has become a gate for darkness to gain access to your progress. They're an open portal for bitterness and spiritual interference. And while they pretend to cheer for you, their inner world is conspiring with forces that aim to sabotage your peace, your purpose, and your prophetic journey. And I will not allow that any longer, because your destiny is too important, your breakthrough is too near, and your calling is too holy to be tethered to someone who operates in hidden dishonor. And yes, it will hurt to acknowledge this truth, but I will give you the strength to walk away, to detach with wisdom and not fear, to bless them and release them. Because the one who curses my anointed is not cursing flesh. They are opposing me, and I do not take that lightly. So I will begin to allow situations to unfold that will confirm what you have suspected but fear to face. And when that happens, do not shrink back, do not argue, do not try to save the connection. I need you to move on. I need you to rise. I need you to protect the oil I've poured on your life, because not everyone who walks with you deserves access to the garden I've planted inside you. And some have been planting weeds with kind words and watering them with secret resentment. But I am uprooting all of that now. I'm burning away what is false. I am clearing the soil so new divine connections can take root, ones that will love you in truth, stand beside you in battle, and pray for your increase with a clean heart. And if you trust me, if you obey this warning, you will soon experience a peace you forgot was possible, a clarity that comes only when the wolves are removed from the sheepfold. And you will see how much lighter life becomes when you're no longer carrying relationships that were never meant to survive the next level. And my child, I know it's hard to let go of someone who once felt safe, who once shared laughter and memories, But even Judas dined at my table before revealing his nature, and not every hand that reaches for you is offering help. Some hands come to delay, distract, and destroy, but I will not allow that. Not now. Not when you've come so far. Not when you are on the cusp of everything I've promised you. And yes, I am exposing them now, so I can elevate you later, because I cannot pour my next level of blessing into a heart entangled with hidden warfare. So heed my voice, open your eyes, and prepare for the separation that leads to transformation. And now, my beloved child, because you have chosen to listen to my voice and open your spirit to the truth I am revealing, I must bring you even deeper into the reality of what has been happening around you. For there are layers to this deception that I have seen and covered you from, even when you had no idea of the danger lurking in the spiritual shadows. And I am calling you to stand in the authority I have given you, not only to walk away from what has been toxic and false, but to begin the process of spiritual cleansing, because the words spoken behind your back, though whispered in secret, have released vibrations into the atmosphere meant to cloud your judgment, delay your destiny, and shake your confidence. And I am breaking the power of those words right now in the name of my Son, Jesus Christ, for you are not cursed. You are chosen, not forsaken, but favored, not forgotten, but formed by divine intention. And while they may have attempted to send negativity your way, they do not realize that my angels have been stationed around you like a divine perimeter, intercepting every evil intention and returning it void. And what they thought would break you has only refined you. What they plotted to ruin you has only pushed you closer to me. And their curses have been transformed into confirmations that you are on the path I have designed, because people do not throw stones at empty trees. And the spiritual opposition you've felt has been proof that you are producing fruit, that your presence irritates darkness, and that your obedience threatens the strongholds they cling to. And I tell you now, child, with all the gravity of my voice, you must not look back with longing or guilt, because those who curse you cannot curse what I have already blessed. And while you may feel emotionally entangled, I am now releasing you from every soul tie, every hidden hook in your heart, every emotional leash they use to manipulate your decisions, and I am cleansing the very atmosphere of your life so that nothing planted by the enemy can continue to grow. And even now, as you hear these words, I am stirring up in your memory the subtle moments that didn't sit right with your spirit, the conversation that left you drained, the laughter that didn't feel sincere, the silence that screamed louder than words. And I am bringing clarity where confusion once ruled, because the enemy thrives in ambiguity. But I am the God of light and revelation, and I will not allow you to remain entangled in spiritual fog when I have called you to walk in prophetic vision. And I speak now to the brokenness that made you tolerate dishonor, to the loneliness that made you accept less than you deserve. And I declare healing over your heart, because I will not just remove the toxic person. I will also heal the parts of you that were vulnerable to their influence. And yes, I know this person carried history with you. I know you have prayed for them, cried with them, shared moments you thought were sacred. But what is sacred in your eyes is not always sacred in mine. And while you looked at the outer shell, I examined the intentions, the thoughts they never voiced, the bitterness they nursed in the night, the envy they disguised as concern. And now I say, come out from among them, my child, and be separate, for I am doing a new thing in your life. And this new season cannot be contaminated by those who secretly compete with your calling. And if you will trust me, I will not only remove them. I will restore what their presence has drained. I will multiply what they tried to subtract. And I will surround you with voices that echo heaven, people who celebrate your rise, not just tolerate your presence. And I will send divine alliances that bring peace, wisdom, and support. For I will no longer allow you to be surrounded by those who benefit from your presence, but betray your purpose. And even if they were the mask of friend, family, or lover, I will strip the disguise and expose the root, because your soul matters too much Your mission matters too much, and this is not the time to second-guess the warnings I'm giving, because to ignore this now is to delay the glory I'm ready to release. And so I speak to you boldly, with divine urgency, and say, protect your spirit, guard your peace, watch the fruits of those around you, not their words, for wolves do not bare their teeth until it is too late. But I'm giving you eyes that see through camouflage, ears that detect falseness and flattery, and discernment that will act like fire between you and deception. And yes, I'm calling you to make decisions that will feel hard but are holy, to close doors that once brought comfort but now lead to corruption, to release people not with hatred but with the wisdom of heaven. And you will not be alone in this, for I am walking with you. I am guiding your every step. I am speaking in the quiet moments. And I am confirming what you've known deep inside but didn't dare admit, because you feared the fallout, but I am greater than the fallout. I am your fortress, your healer, your vindicator, and I will cause all things, even this betrayal, to work for your good, if only you will obey and trust me. For the blessings I have stored are too great to be shared with those who send curses behind your back while smiling in your face. Now listen, my child, because what I am about to reveal to you is not just about the person who stands in the shadows, whose heart has turned against you in silence, but about the spirit that has attached itself to them. Yes, the spirit of envy, of subtle sabotage, of counterfeit connection that masquerades as loyalty, but has only ever been a gateway for spiritual infiltration. And I need you to understand that the war you feel is not just in the physical, it is spiritual, it is generational, it is ancient. And the closer you move toward your divine purpose, the louder the enemy becomes through the mouths of those you never suspected. And yes, I saw the tears you cried when you felt unsupported. I watched as you questioned your worth because of how you were treated, but I was never distant from your pain. I was gathering every tear, storing every groan, recording every time they mocked you, excluded you, talked about you in rooms you were never invited into. And I tell you this, I did not forget, and I will not remain silent, for I am a God of justice, and I will expose, I will remove, I will protect, and I will elevate you beyond the reach of their bitterness. And what you must understand is that when I remove someone from your life, it is never random, it is never cruel, it is surgical. It is the hand of the great physician removing infection before it spreads to your destiny. And while your heart may ache for the version of them you believed in, I am asking you to trust the truth I am exposing, because love that plots in secret is not love. It is manipulation wrapped in a smile. It is access given to a soul that no longer deserves to touch what is sacred. And I tell you now, child, the inheritance I have for you, the spiritual authority I am building in you, the legacy I am preparing to release through you, these things cannot be carried by hands still clinging to poison relationships. And so, I'm not only asking you to release them, I'm giving you supernatural strength to do so. For your soul has been entangled for too long, your nights disrupted by anxiety you couldn't explain, your discernment dulled by emotional loyalty. But I am sharpening your spiritual senses now. I am pulling back the veil, and I am revealing this person for who they truly are, not as punishment to them, but as protection for you, because you cannot afford another season of delay. And while you have tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, while you have convinced yourself to be merciful, to overlook the patterns, to silence your intuition, I tell you this: your mercy must now be submitted to my judgment. For I see the heart while you see only the face. I weigh the motives while you weigh the memories. And this person's heart is not aligned with mine, and therefore cannot remain aligned with yours. And though they may still wear the language of the faithful, though they may speak of me with reverence, their heart is far from me, and I will not allow a divided soul to sabotage your calling. For this next season requires clarity, purity, and unwavering obedience. And I am calling you now, to rise up in spiritual maturity, to declare with your mouth and believe with your heart that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not even the silent, spiritual weapons sent through gossip, curses, resentment, and bitterness. And even now, child, I am breaking the agreements that were made in secret, the soul ties you didn't know were draining you, the energetic hooks buried in conversations that seemed harmless, but were in fact assignments of the enemy to pull you off course. And I say to you with urgency, this is not just a test of love. It is a test of loyalty to me. For will you cling to what is familiar and forfeit what is divine? Or will you trust me, even when the separation feels like loss, knowing that I prune not to punish, but to prepare, and that every removal I authorize is to make space for something greater, something holy, something born of my spirit. And you have been faithful in little, and now I am preparing to entrust you with more influence, more favor, more vision, more anointing. But you cannot carry this with compromised connections. And I am speaking clearly now. You must stop entertaining what I've been warning you about. You must stop excusing behavior I've already convicted you over. You must stop giving platform to those whose hearts are secretly hardened against you, because they cannot drink from the well of your obedience while poisoning the water with jealousy. And I will no longer tolerate it. I will no longer delay your breakthrough because of your hesitation to obey. And I'm speaking this word with fire and force, because your destiny depends on it. Your future is being written in this very moment, and heaven is watching how you respond, not in fear, but in faith. And I say this now. If you trust me enough to walk away from what I have not anointed, you will witness doors open that no man can shut, healing pour out in places you forgot were wounded, and peace flood your spirit like a river that silences all anxiety. For my hand is upon you, and I will not let what is cursed remain close to what I have called. And this is your hour of revelation, your hour of separation, your hour of redirection. And if you choose obedience, I will take what was meant to curse you and turn it into the very fuel that lifts you into my promise. Now lean in even closer, for what I am about to release into your spirit is not merely a warning, but a decree from the throne room of heaven. And this is not a message to stir fear, but to awaken divine awareness. For the battle you are enduring is not yours alone. It is tied to your bloodline, to your assignment, to your calling. And that is why the opposition has come through those closest to you. For the enemy always seeks to corrupt what is near, what is trusted, what is woven into your emotional fabric. And he uses familiarity as a disguise to send the deepest betrayal. But I, the Lord your God, am exposing every counterfeit covering, every false alliance, every hidden dagger dressed in kindness. And I declare right now, you will not be destroyed by the hand you once held. You will not be undone by the tongue that once praised you. You will not be cursed by the same mouth that once blessed you. For I am sending my angels now. Yes, the mighty ones who excel in strength, who obey my word, to surround you, to dismantle the curses spoken in silence, to uproot the hexes hidden in conversations, to tear down the altars raised against your destiny in unseen realms. And no longer will you carry the residue of spiritual warfare birthed from relationships I never ordained. And this is why I allowed you to feel the sting of betrayal, why I removed your peace when you stayed too long in their presence, why I shut doors you tried to force open again and again, for I am not interested in your comfort when it comes at the cost of your calling. And you have tried to fix what I was trying to remove, to understand what I had already judged, and now I'm bringing the final separation, not out of wrath, but out of mercy, not because I want you to suffer, but because I need you to see clearly. And I say this with fire and finality. Stop trying to heal what was designed to wound you. Stop mourning what was never meant to remain. Stop returning to conversations that leave your spirit heavy, your discernment clouded, your hope dimmed. For those who curse you with their lips and bless you with their presence are walking in deception. And I do not anoint deception. I expose it. I burn out. And now I'm doing exactly that. I am burning through the ties that have drained you. I am severing every emotional dependency that was born out of fear rather than faith. I am lifting the veil and releasing divine sight so that you may see who they really are, not through the eyes of nostalgia, but through the lens of my truth. And child, I know it hurts to let go. I know it's painful to realize you were loyal to someone who prayed against you in secret, who smiled in your face while hoping for your downfall. But would you rather hold on to the pain or make room for the promise? For I have something greater coming, a divine relationship, a circle soaked in prayer and filled with my presence. A community that builds rather than burdens, uplifts rather than undermines. And yes, I am about to bless you with peace that doesn't require pretending, with love that doesn't come with conditions, with covenant relationships that don't curse your purpose. And you will look back on this moment not with bitterness, but with gratitude, knowing that I rescued you before the poison could sink deeper into your soul. And let me tell you now, every curse they sent, spoken, whispered, or imagined, is returning to its sender sevenfold, not because I delight in their destruction, but because I protect my children, and what they intended as a stumbling block, I am turning into a stepping stone. What they built as a trap, I am transforming into a platform. And you will rise, not despite them, but because of what they tried to stop, for I am using even this betrayal as a setup for your breakthrough. And my word for you is clear. And now, as this revelation rests upon your soul and settles into the deepest part of your spirit, I want you to understand that this was not just a message. It was a deliverance in motion, a divine intervention sent not through thunder or earthquake, but through this quiet, urgent whisper from heaven. For I, the Lord your God, do not speak without purpose. And when I reveal, I heal, and when I correct, I cover. And though this truth has shaken you, you are not standing in fear. You are standing in freedom, because chains of confusion are breaking even now. Cords of control are snapping in the spirit, and every illegal attachment formed by deception is being burned away by the fire of my presence. And you, my chosen one, my anointed vessel, are stepping into a space of purity and peace so unfamiliar that it might almost feel uncomfortable at first, because you've been trained by survival, conditioned by compromise. But now you are being retrained by my spirit, reconditioned by grace. And I am calling you not just into isolation from corruption, but into alignment with divine inheritance. For every person removed has made room for something sacred. And I say this so that you do not mourn what I cut away, but rejoice in what I am preparing to deliver. For the curses sent behind your back have only confirmed your frontline position in the battle of light versus darkness. And because you endured without bitterness, because you chose to listen to me rather than retaliate, I am exalting you in a way that will confuse your enemies and amaze your friends. And you will walk into rooms you didn't campaign for, hold blessings you didn't chase, and receive answers you didn't even know to ask for, because I am not a God who repays evil with evil. I repay faithfulness with fire, and the fire that once felt like trial will now be your empowerment. For you are forged in the flames, purified by the pressure, refined through betrayal. And every tear you cried over someone who secretly cursed you has been collected, not ignored. And I will multiply your restoration. I will overflow your cup in front of those who counted you out, and your vindication will be visible, not to humiliate them, but to glorify me, so that all will know no curse can prosper against one whom the Lord has covered. And today, I cover you again, not with mere comfort, but with covenant, not with sympathy, but with strategy. And from this moment forward, your discernment will sharpen, your sensitivity to spiritual deception will increase, your authority will expand, and the one who tried to curse you will feel the consequence not because of your retaliation, but because of my righteousness. And as a seal to this word, I will give you a sign within 3 days. Yes, 3 days. Something will shift around you, something undeniable, unmistakable. and it will confirm to your soul that I, the Lord, have acted on your behalf. So be still, remain faithful, keep your gates closed to what I've removed, and walk with me. For the next chapter of your life begins with protection and ends with promotion. And if you trust me now, you will witness a miracle that not even the curses of your enemies can delay.